Did you know that overcoming laziness isn't about motivation alone? It's about smart strategies you can use right now. In this video, we're sharing 5 ways to stop being lazy and take action. From simple mindset shifts to practical steps that get you moving and making progress every day. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our productivity hacks. Time to crush laziness. Let's get started. While laziness can feel like a trap, these proven ways will help you break free and take charge. These aren't just tips, they're your action plan. 5. Use the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, make it a rule to do it immediately instead of postponing it. This simple yet powerful habit stops small chores from accumulating into overwhelming piles that can paralyze your productivity and increase stress. When little tasks like replying to a quick email, washing a few dishes, or tidying a cluttered spot are handled right away, you build positive momentum throughout your day. This momentum creates a sense of accomplishment, which fuels motivation to take on larger, more challenging projects. The 2-minute rule also rewires your brain to act quickly rather than falling into procrastination patterns. Many people don't realize how much mental energy they waste just by thinking about unfinished tasks. Every time you see that email still needing a response or the dishes left in the sink, your brain uses energy to remind you and plan when to get to them. This constant background mental activity creates cognitive clutter, which drains your focus, reduces motivation, and increases feelings of overwhelm. By completing quick tasks immediately, you clear your mind of unnecessary mental noise and create a more organized physical environment. A tidy space and a decluttered mind make it easier to concentrate on important tasks and maintain sustained productivity. Overall, embracing the 2-minute rule boosts efficiency, reduces stress, and helps you feel more in control of your day, making progress feel natural and manageable. 4. Break large goals into micro-actions. You procrastinate on important goals because they often feel too big, overwhelming, or vague. Your brain instinctively avoids tasks that seem difficult or uncertain to protect you from stress and potential failure. The key to overcoming this resistance is to break every goal into incredibly small, manageable actions, so small that it feels almost silly not to do them. For example, instead of write a book, your micro-action is simply write 1 sentence. Instead of get in shape, it could be put on your workout clothes. These tiny steps don't trigger your brain's fear response because they seem easy and non-threatening. Once you complete a micro-action, momentum often kicks in, making it easier to keep going. Starting is the hardest part of any task, and micro-actions make starting so simple that excuses lose their power. This approach taps into the psychological principle of consistency. People naturally want to stay consistent with actions they've begun. By focusing on tiny, achievable steps, you build positive habits, reduce overwhelm, and transform daunting goals into doable tasks that keep you moving forward every day. 3. Create environmental triggers for success. Your environment has a far greater influence on your behavior than sheer willpower or motivation ever can. Rather than relying on motivation, which can be fleeting and unreliable, it's much more effective to design your surroundings in a way that makes positive habits automatic and negative ones harder to engage in. For example, if you want to read more, place books strategically in places where you spend a lot of time, like your living room, bedroom, or kitchen. At the same time, reduce temptation by hiding your phone in a drawer to avoid mindless scrolling. Similarly, if your goal is to exercise regularly, prepare by laying out your workout clothes the night before and keeping your gym bag near the door so it's easy to grab and go. The key is to remove any friction or obstacles that stand between you and the behaviors you want to develop, while adding small barriers to the habits you want to reduce or eliminate. Since your brain naturally favors the path of least resistance, setting up your environment correctly ensures that the easiest choices align with your goals. This approach isn't about increasing self-control, but rather making self-control unnecessary. When your environment supports your intentions, taking action becomes effortless and almost automatic, no internal struggle required. 2. Implement the 5-minute commitment. Try committing to working on your goal for just 5 minutes, with the complete freedom to stop as soon as those 5 minutes are up if you want. This simple but powerful strategy works because it removes the overwhelming pressure and mental block that often come with thinking about long, daunting work sessions. Your brain doesn't resist a small, manageable commitment like 5 minutes. It sees it as easy and doable, so it doesn't trigger avoidance or procrastination. More often than not, once you've started and gotten into the flow, you'll find yourself naturally continuing beyond those 5 minutes. Starting is usually the hardest part, and by breaking that barrier, momentum takes over. Even if you do stop exactly at the 5-minute mark, you've still moved forward, however slightly, and reinforced the habit of daily, consistent action. This builds your self-trust, proving to yourself that you can follow through, which is key to long-term success. The real magic of the 5-minute rule is that it exposes how much of your resistance is mental rather than physical. Once you're actively engaged in the task, it's rarely as difficult or unpleasant as your mind made it seem beforehand. This technique breaks the cycle of procrastination, making progress feel achievable and less intimidating, and gradually rewires your brain to approach goals with less fear and more confidence. 1. Shift your identity, not just your actions. The most effective way to overcome laziness is by changing how you perceive yourself. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise," shift your mindset to, "I am someone who exercises." This subtle but powerful shift transforms your approach because your choices start reflecting your identity rather than just temporary feelings or motivation. For example, when you identify as a writer, you write, not because you always feel motivated, but because writing is part of who you are. Similarly, if you see yourself as a person who takes action, procrastination feels inconsistent with your self-image. Your brain naturally seeks to act in ways that align with your identity. By consciously changing how you see yourself, you create automatic shifts in your behavior. The key is to begin small. Commit to tiny, consistent actions that prove your new identity to yourself. Each time you act in line with the person you want to become, you strengthen neural pathways in your brain, making it easier to maintain these behaviors over time. This approach is not about pretending or faking it till you make it. Instead, it's about intentionally choosing who you want to be and living in a way that reflects that choice. Gradually, your new identity becomes authentic, and motivation flows naturally because your actions are deeply connected to your true sense of self. Laziness isn't a character flaw, it's just a sign that you haven't found the right strategies yet. These 5 methods work because they address the root causes of procrastination rather than just fighting the symptoms. Start with whichever technique resonates most with you, and remember that small, consistent actions beat sporadic bursts of motivation every time. You have everything you need to start taking action today. Which strategy are you going to try first? Drop a comment below and let me know, and don't forget to subscribe for more actionable advice.